A Fox News alert: 14 dead and more than a dozen wounded, many critically, in an attack at a Christmas party in Southern California. The police identifying the killers as a husband and wife, both Muslims, wearing body armor and GoPros, and apparently their house is being described by some as a bomb factory. Dr. Michael Welner is a forensic psychiatrist. He joins us from Tampa. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Well, there are a lot of questions. And obviously, the FBI is not going to tell us everything they know at this point. But we do know that this man, Saeed Farouk, a devout Muslim, pictured right there, in April, he went to Saudi Arabia, brought back a wife, a woman by the name of Tashfeen Malik. Some have depicted them as a jihadi Bonnie and Clyde, but you got to wonder, who radicalized whom? Or was it both? These are a lot of dots that need to be connected.
Well, I think that because this is the news, we've got to be straight with people, and we have to start with the obviousness that this was an Islamist attack. And that enables us to ask the appropriate questions, such as the ones that you're raising about how someone was radicalized. We already understand from mass shootings and mass killings that these events don't happen because someone made a spontaneous decision. And so it's not surprising to see law enforcement describe the kind of weaponry they found in the home. I think the big concern that we all should have is whether we are witnessing the birth of ISIS in America, because the way ISIS has exploited young people is getting them to buy into faith and then demonstrating the devotion. How far would you go for your Islam? Would you kill for it? Would you die for it? And in this example that we have, would you leave a newborn baby behind?
Right.
When you see a woman involved, the natural questions that we have to ask are, what is the state of feminism in Muslim America? How are women's rights defined? As you say, who radicalized whom? But you're talking about a woman who left a baby behind, and that either speaks to her own extreme faith or her essentially being under the domination of a more psychopathic individual, which when in multiple mass shootings, the prime mover has psychopathic qualities, such as we saw in Tsarnaev in Boston.
Yeah. You know, Doctor, for folks who are just getting up, the way it went down, according to the people who were at this Christmas party yesterday, this guy was an inspector for the health department. He was at the party a couple hours, and then he left, came back with her, and then they shot up the place. Clearly, if they're wearing body armor and GoPros and they've been building pipe bombs at home, this was not a spur-of-the-moment thing. My question to you is this. It was a Christmas party. Do you think that could have been a motivation? It's symbolic because it's a Christmas party.
Well, it's symbolic, but the point of mass shooting and terror is to create spectacle, and in the United States, you create spectacle by high body count. You have a party, you have a lot of people together, you have some people drinking who will be disarmed, and you have people in a room, and you are able to kill many very, very quickly. Look, I worked on the Holmes case. This is precisely why Holmes picked the theater, because you had people who were there, he could kill many people, and absolutely the idea of getting notoriety is part of it. But in this case, it's notoriety for a cause, and we spoke about the idea of the ideology. How far would you go? And the idea of these spectacle crimes, they're used as a recruitment tool. I think it's very important for us to move on from the idea of questioning this and questioning that, because it becomes as absurd at some point as saying, well, this was a video as the cause of Benghazi. The fact that we allowed ourselves to be misled by the idea that a video was responsible, it had so much of a destructive impact on the national discourse. If we just acknowledge realities, then we can solve problems in the future and enhance public safety.
I know you don't get into politics, but a number of Democrats are calling, in the wake of this, for stronger gun laws. When somebody is so intent on killing other people, would stronger gun laws have worked?
Well, I would say that there are certain mass killers that if they don't have access to certain weapons, they're not going to be able to be as destructive. But if you have terrorist-minded individuals who have support, who are educated about how to obtain the weaponry they need, and they do the research, they're going to find a way to be destructive, whether it's with weapons or with bombs. So it's the idea of terrorism and gun control are not mutually exclusive.
That's right.
We've got to make sure that rejectionist Islam doesn't take hold in the United States, independent of the gun debate.
All right. Dr. Michael Welner joined us today from Tampa. Doctor, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up, it used to be the airports and airplanes right after 9/11, but are soft target attacks like this the new norm? We're going to talk about how to keep yourself safe next.
Can't afford to let heartburn get in the way?